What's going on? So today we're going to be talking about the essential tools to have in your collection. First off, we're going to start with knives. I feel like you should only have three. I would say one of them will be a chef's knife, which is something like this. Something along the lines of this. Now this is a great brand, but I actually started out using something like this. Now this is, this is also a chef's knife. This one is pretty dull. I do have to sharpen it, but it still works just as fine. I'm still gonna keep it. And the next knife you should have is a serrated knife, something like this. You want to make sure that this will basically slice bread or meat, even if you need it. I don't know. And then the last knife, definitely a paring knife. This is something small, very easy to grip, and then if you want to like peel potatoes or if you want to take out the cores from the apple, that's all you gotta do. So those three knives, you don't need to have a knife block that comes with like 12, 15, 16 knives. You don't need all those knives. It's just gonna take up so much space. I would recommend that if you get these type of knives, make sure that you store them safely, because sometimes they could, if you leave them wet in the jar or if you don't hand dry them, I feel like sometimes they get rusty, especially near the handle. Like if you could see that little area here, it gets rusty because water will get through, and then sometimes if you like shake it a little bit, it'll be like, you could hear the water. Another item I definitely recommend are tongs, something like this. This is really easy to flip things over, whether it's a steak, chicken, whatever. Toss this out. No, toss this out. I'm not gonna say that. It's like a porn term. Now for graters, I would recommend something like this. This is more of like a microplane. It's a little bit more smaller for like zesting things. And then this one for, I would say like cheese or anything else. If you don't want to take up so much space, I would also recommend to get something like this. Literally has 6 different sides. So one and done. That's it. All right, next up is a ladle. You need a ladle no matter what. I honestly got this at the 99-cent store and it still works perfectly fine. Also, another necessity is a strainer. Now, or a sieve, whatever. Now, they come in different sizes. I actually have a bigger one back there, but you only need, I would say, 2 different sizes. One, if you want to do like baking and you want to make sure you want to get the lumps out of the flour, you can just like tap it, or tapping powdered sugar on desserts, a little extra sugar. And yeah, this is really good. I definitely recommend that. Also, if let's say you're steeping some tea, some loose leaf tea, just leave it there, take it out, whatever. So the next item is a wooden spoon. Now, I don't know what it is about wooden spoons, but I feel like they really scrape everything at the bottom of the pan, even those like little brown bits. When you're cooking things like onions and garlic, I feel like this really, just feel like it picks up the food better. You can use a metal one, but I feel like it'll kind of clank with the metal on the inside of the pot. I don't know. Another tool I would say is the spatula. Now, this is more of a flexible spatula. This is really good for like, let's say you're making pancakes in the morning, you want to get all that for scraping things, for spreading things on as well, like some desserts. Now we're gonna talk about chopping boards. I would say that you only really need 3. You can have one that's made of wood, which everyone has. You could use that for like vegetables, fruit, whatever, but sometimes when you use it on meat, it'll bleed and it's just gonna stain the cutting board, and it's honestly not that sanitary. So whenever you're cutting meat, I would recommend to get something like plastic like this. And this kind of like, it's easy to wash off. I just feel like this is something good to have when you're working with poultry, fish, things like that. Another type of cutting board that you should get is something flexible. So when you chop your vegetables, I feel like you can, pick it up and then pour it in the pot. Boom. That's it. Definitely another item you should have in your collection is a colander or a strainer. Pastas, you wash your vegetables on this. All right, so now we're going to talk about pots and pans. I feel like you definitely need 2 types of pots. One, this is a saucepan. This saucepan typically doesn't really have a thick bottom, which you should have one that has like more of a thicker bottom. This is really super affordable. I don't remember where this is from, honestly. This is good to have, so you can make sauces, you can make smaller batch items, like if you want to make a little pot of rice, beans, couscous, orzo, no. I feel like a saucepan is, yes, it's known for making sauces, but also you can cook rice in it, beans, vegetables, whatever. Or you can make a little small dose of like chicken soup or something. Another pot you should have is something like this. This is more for larger cooking if you want to make more if you wanted to make a larger batch of chicken soup. Also, you can make a lot of things in this. You know, ragouts, stews, anything. You definitely need a saucepan and a pot. That's more on the medium side. I do have a bigger one, which if you do have space, then get a big one, like one of those really tall ones. But if you don't, that's fine. All you need is those two. The next pan you should get is definitely a non-stick saucepan. For a beginning, I would recommend that you get a non-stick just because it's a little bit easier to not burn things, hence the non-slip surface. Now, I would say for more professional cooking, you can get like a stainless steel, metal, whatever, something like that. But for a beginning, that's definitely the only one that you need. If you want to go into sizing, you can get a smaller one, bigger one, but I feel like if you're cooking, like you live in an apartment for two, or if you live by yourself, you can actually go a little bit smaller, you can downsize. But so now that you know what to get, I definitely recommend that you go out, invest in some pieces, and let's start cooking. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment and let me know what else you want to see me make, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.